think it's in the bottom.
Yeah, okay. So once again, Property Deals Insight is a property investment platform empowering you to make smart property decisions faster. We provide a number of features which allow you to look for your next property deal fast and get the numbers quickly. There's a lot of things, high levels I would go through. You can get access to the best deals in the market. You can analyze any property in seconds. We provide in-depth analysis and instant property valuation reports and estimates, which allows you to make informed property decisions, beat the competition, and improve the deal closure and make more money. So some of the key features, I'm just going to quickly go through them, and then we can straight away jump onto the platform. So Deal Finder is one of our most anticipated feature, or most used feature, I should say, which allows people to use the strategies used by the experts and allows them to actually find these deals and analyze them quickly. And like I said, there we have property inside reports. We provide Cashflow and ROI analysis on any property throughout UK. Gives you local area analysis, and we have property heat maps. So I think at this point it would be good to jump to the platform. It's free to start on the platform. You can start your free trial by clicking here. Anyone who signs in gets free usage tokens for a limited time. So that allows people to be able to try the platform before they actually start their trial. So we'll just jump into the login. I'm already logged in actually. So there you go. So this is the homepage of the platform, which shows you your payment plan, what tokens you have. So like I mentioned, we like to break it into three main categories. Property heat maps. So this is a feature which we say allows you to look at the macros throughout the country, where you can identify high yielding areas throughout the UK, use these hotspots to narrow your search criteria and find deals. You can also look at what are the asking prices throughout the country, where are the highest or lowest rents throughout the country by number of bedrooms, etc. Then you've got Deal Finder, which allows, once you've identified which area you want to focus on, you can actually find and analyze deals quickly, saving you, on an average, people spend 6 to 8 weeks sourcing deals, and this is people who actually are professionals. And in some cases, these guys charge you 10 grand or sometimes 50% partnership to actually source a deal. So we just thought it was all, we do it with technology, so why should only the big boys have this? And ultimately, it helps both the larger or smaller customers. And as you mentioned, we have prepackaged sourcing strategies. And the third one is when you have a specific property in mind. Now, if you're buying a new home or if you're trying to take a benefit of the stamp duty, like Arvind just mentioned, you can actually use the Property Insight Reports feature, which provides you instant property valuation for any UK home. We actually have 27 million plus UK homes in our system, which you can analyze quickly. So let's start with property heat maps. We have three categories within heat maps, which allows you to look for high yielding areas, UK sale prices across the country, and what are the average rents throughout the country. So if we start with a sale price, what we see is you can check the prices across the country, what the average pricing, average asking price for all these properties across the country is. It's a pretty interactive map here where you can actually zoom in to see where you find the highest asking price or lowest asking price. So as we all pretty much, I think a lot of us are from around London area, you'd see unsurprisingly, this is the area where you've got the darkest, so which is basically highest values, and up in north side you'll have slightly lower values. There are multiple things you can actually do here. We show you the prices by bedrooms, number of bedrooms, whichever area throughout the country you can actually filter and sort these things. If I wanted to say, look for what's the pricing in Liverpool, so this is actually allowing you to see what are the prices in any area. Also allows you to sort these numbers with based on that. Also, we've actually done it by type of property. So if like say we are in Harrow, where you can actually see what are the pricing for an apartment, semi-detached flats, etc. So type by property type. So that allows you a very good insight if you're looking at a certain area, what sort of prices you should expect for. If I go back, same thing for rentals. Let's jump to the yield heat hotspots, which is generally where people are mostly interested in. Where can they make the most money? So as again, a lot of people know North is where people make more money in rentals, but that's not actually always the case. You also have some smaller areas here, which a lot of us, or at least I don't know of otherwise, but there are some crazy deals in the platform which you can actually find in those areas. So again, this is pretty interactive. You can actually filter out whether you're interested in 2% yield, 4% yield, 6%, 10% or more. So that can allow you to filter out which areas you can focus on. Also, it also allows you to set your expectations in central London, looking for a 20% yield. Well, chances are you'll struggle with that. I mean, there are some rare opportunities, but not every time. So this helps you to set your expectations from a macro level. So what you can look for. Again, we've also done it by number of bedrooms. So this, I didn't ever hear about this place, but apparently this is currently the top yielding area throughout the country. So we allow you to actually find deals in this area, which allows you basically, if you don't know where to start and you're somebody who wants to invest in property and doesn't really matter where that property is as long as it's making you money. So one way people can actually use our deal finder feature is by clicking here and they can jump onto the deal finder. So let's just try that. When you click that, this will take you to the deal finder products landing page. Deal Finder is, as its name suggests, finds you deals. It's mainly trying to put together all the popular sourcing strategies, I should say, like buy, refurb, sell, or refinance, where homes are in need of refurbishment. You can add to the value of this and then leverage or sell these for a handsome profit. Biggest bargains, that is something where we find most discounted properties, where the owners are struggling to sell these homes for whatever reason, because of Brexit, because of high stock, or these are properties which you won't otherwise find on the on your usual portals, because if you're like most people, then all you look for is the latest 14 days, 7 days, 20 days kind of properties. But some of these hidden gems are actually from past. But if you're looking for a good gain, you don't necessarily have to look for the latest property that's come to the market. Also, auctions, again, one of the most popular ones where people know how to, if you know how to use auctions, then basically there's a lot of money to be made. I know some people on the call already deal in auctions, and there's a full-blown article on our website on how to go about in auctions and how our platform can be used. That's also available for you to read. Again, quickly, there are other things like planning approved, where you don't want to go through the hassle of planning. So people who've got pre-approved planning permissions and you want to buy that property, get your builders in, do that work, and then make some handsome profit. Cash deals is again another thing where if you've got the cash, you can actually negotiate some good rates with that. Short lease, this is actually another interesting strategy. I would say this is sort of a slightly advanced strategy where if you know or how to get the lease extension done, short lease properties are actually available for massively lower asking prices, like 30-40% discounts in most cases. Actually, you can find a good deal. But yes, you must be very, very careful. You should know the pitfalls of this before you actually jump into any of these deals. Again, repossessions are bank and forced sales, licensed HMOs, deal breakdown when owners are struggling to sell or the deal falls through. That's actually a good opportunity to pounce. And we also have new build properties. Let's start with auctions. We have a fairly simple input field where you actually can specify the strategy. This is the area which we found on our platform, which was yielding highest returns. You can specify minimum and maximum pricing. Let's just put some numbers. Okay, let's just make it a bit wider. And it allows you to specify whether you want to look for houses, flats, and land. And by the way, this is just to be clear, a lot of people coming to us, they try and use it as your portals like Zoopla or Rightmove, where you're saying, I want to find a bargain deal next to me kind of thing. That's not what it is. This is more from the perspective of you're an investor. You, in order to find the deals, the good deals, you should also have a little bit of wider search radius. So most people say they don't mind doing 10, 20, 15 miles around their main residence. And that allows them to actually look for properties which are within the 10-mile radius, 15-mile radius, and can give them handsome return. And that's what people do. So each of these searches would require some usage tokens. So that says 2 search tokens would be used. When you hit search, we try and fetch you live results. We aggregated it from a number of different sources and provide you these results. So you see all these properties which are shown listed over here. I mean, like I said, we've put a 15-mile radius around that area. You see various things here. You've got the discount column. This is where owners have actually discounted from their listing price. So you can actually sort it by that. So you can, in some cases, there are some crazy discounts people have put it on. So it's been listed since October last year. Persons could be desperate. Look at these discounts are amazing in terms of how many times people have gone down. Also, the other important factor is actually the yield. I quite like it to use the yield percentage. You can actually sort it by that, where it shows you the percentage returns you can sort of expect on this. Some of them are land, and we try and pull data from the various sources, and also use our own algorithms to actually try and give you the numbers. Let's look at one of these properties. This has been recently listed, and it's a terraced house. So when you open this, so this is our deal insights feature, which allows you to shows you a summary of the property, gives you what the asking price of this is, what kind of outlay you're expecting. So this is the initial outlay for you. What are the net monthly ins and out? What sort of annual costs would be required? And what returns you're actually likely to make on this property, which is 17%, quite extraordinary returns. And what your yearly cash flow by buying into this property would be. This is net value. We also show this graphically and very nicely editable field here. So this is actually showing you, based on this number, what your down payment would be. So this is taking into account the industry standard 25% down payment. You can actually change this value. Stamp duty for a 63,500 property would be 0 for now. Renovation costs, these are the typical figures which we take. I don't want to go through all of them, but ultimately these are self-explanatory fields. We also show you how the cash flow will change if you went for a repayment mortgage versus an interest-only mortgage. So these graphs are actually showing you things like your cash in deal remaining. So based on your initial outlay and your yearly cash flow, this property itself, if you buy it at this price, is actually likely to you're likely to get all your money out within 3-ish years, and after that it's all money you're making without having any investment in the property. Also showing you breakdown of what the annual costs are, purchase costs, etc. And also you can actually see whether you want to increase or decrease your offer. So for instance, if there was a bidding war, it went on to 73,000. This automatically straight away checks you the new numbers, what would be your likelihood of how you get it. So if I go back to one of the other strategies, let's quickly, a lot of us are from London. Let's pick the short lease strategy. We can enter London here, and let's make this number higher. And I wouldn't mind anywhere around the M25 area, so we've actually selected that. And now we are looking for results on the short lease properties in and around the London area. So this is now pulled together all these properties which are available, which are on a short lease. So chances are a lot of them you might have to go for a cash deal. Let's pick any of these properties. Which one should we go for? Okay, let's see. Okay, this one. So this is a property in W9 where it's basically showing you it's got 1.25 million. and 31 years remaining on the lease. So you're likely to be having to renew it. But again, the same, all the calculations are shown here. Stamp duty will not be zero in this case because it's a high purchase property. Again, you can check rental, interest only or repayment figure. So for repayment, the graph is again quite nice. But if you were to go interest only for this property, the way I look at it, even if you didn't actually go for a lease extension, you are going to get your money back in 7 years, and the property will be making a lot of money. So it's 31 years remaining, but that's not how it works. You actually can also extend the lease, and there is a government standard rate of how to do the lease extensions. But again, I'm not offering any advice here, so you should seek professional advice for that part. But this is just to show that there are really good deals in and around London area as well, which normally people don't realize. And there are so many properties. I mean, each of these you would see up to 200 results. I'll just quickly show option listing, and then we'll move on to the other features. Where should I go? Liverpool is another hotspot. Where Liverpool, Manchester area, if you go basically, I don't mind 25 miles or 50 miles, and this will show you the results for auction listings in and around that area. Again, same thing where you can actually see stuff, which is, we've got 200 properties in the search results. So each of these searches basically come as part of the standard packages. We don't limit whether you're on a premium package or a basic package or a gold package. Everyone gets to use all the features of the product. It's just limited by how many searches you do. It depends on if you're a seasoned investor or an occasional investor, or however you want to go about it. Some of the auctions you'd see there are like very high yields. Obviously, you need to know how to invest in auctions, etc. You can pick again one of the properties here. You can sort by price, for instance. If there is some data missing, that's what you'd find these dots for. And then you can just look for whichever property you like. You can sort by discounts or yield, which we've been doing so far. So if we just pick one of these properties, let's just pick this one. So this is again showing you the same information about the property. You can actually see. So actually auctions is quite interesting because sometimes the guide price is which we see here is not what the properties go for, and you can get carried away when sitting in an auction. And if anyone's been in an auction, you see it's quite nerving when you're in there in a bidding war. You don't want to lose out on something where you've actually done all your analysis. So one of the things is very, very important principle is never get carried away. And by using our platform, what you can actually do, you can do all your analysis up front, but also if you're sat in there, you won't be getting your pen and paper out, doing your recalculations when your offer goes up to, let's say, 350, and it will basically show you what the returns you're likely to make. But these numbers can actually change dramatically. Let's say something went really crazy. Again, for the purpose of showing it, I wanted to show if the offer went up to 550 or something. So it's actually supposed to show you where it's going, how likely you're actually going to make any money on this. Because if the graph looks like this, which is going up, that's showing you it's negative cash flow. A lot of people go with the view, oh, it's property, it's always going to make money. So something which could have actually made you handsome money is actually going to also can bite you back quite significantly. So it's always important to know your numbers, and that's where I quite like this feature, and a lot of our customers who are doing auctions, they quite like it as well. So I definitely suggest you have a look at that. So one of the other features I wanted to jump on to was property insights. So the deal finder was when you wanted to find properties in and around an area. Now property insight is once you've zeroed down on a property and you actually want to buy it or put on an offer. A lot of times people actually only find out the real valuation of a property after the offer has been extended, after your surveyors have been extended, and you've actually spent a lot of money basically, and you're further down the line. And if you pull out of that, then you end up having to start all over again, or you end up overpaying. So there are a few things within property valuation where we provide you a bespoke automated valuation model. So this is our own proprietary model, which uses the per square meter pricing throughout the country to give you accurate property valuations, shows similar properties in the area, rental comparisons, flip analysis, or for any investment project, or if you're doing a bridging deal, something like that, where you're actually looking to add to the value, do a quick sale. Cash flow analysis, as we just saw, and recent sold price history, etc. Let's just start. So this is a simple screen where you provide the information about the property and it gives you the full-blown report. This screen, a lot of people actually try and rush it because this is quite important that you give the accurate details to the engine, because this is almost synonymous to your surveyor's valuation. So if we start with a property valuation of a property in Pinner, you put in the search for that, this will pick out all the properties in this area. You select the property, and now we base our property valuation model on internal per square meter pricing of the properties. And a lot of people don't even know what their internal floor area for the property is. So we have the data of over 27 million properties in the country, which is where we are able to tell you what the internal area is. And if there has been any additions to, or you have had an extension, etc., then you can always edit this. A lot of estate agents, when they do your floor plans, etc., you can easily find this information, or even on the other portals where you've got floor plans, you can easily find what the internal square meter for that property is. Select what type of property this is. In this case, it's a terrace property. How many bedrooms the property has, what number of bathrooms, your number of receptions, all these typical information which you would need for finding a report. Other features which are important to provide an accurate valuation, these are not mandatory, but I always recommend people to put in all the information. When was the property built, or which year? What is the current condition, whether it's an excellent condition like new, good condition, needs some modernization, or is a completely run down wreck. Whether you want to see the valuation in per square meter or feet, whether your property comes with a garage, single garage, double garage, or no. How many parking spaces your property has, and what's your garden size, if it's small, average, large, huge. So this is typically from the perspective of if you were looking at comparing properties in that neighborhood, your garden, would it be, is it average or large? Because some village or countryside properties would have huge gardens, but they would still be treated as average anyways. So as you do that, the moment you press search, so our engine starts to fetch all these results. It's pretty quick actually. So going through hundreds of thousands of properties in this area, trying to fetch you all this information. As you say, this is 78 Durley Avenue, comes up with the market property valuation for this property, gives you a range of plus minus 5%, because every property internally could be a little bit here and there, but based on the amount of data we find, this will give you what kind of variation you can expect. This is a number average per square meter pricing. This is our proprietary algorithm which comes up with this number. It gives you the pricing for this property. For instance, if there was a 2 4-bedrooms in Durley Avenue, one was 92 square meter as this one is, and the other one is 110 square meter. So not everyone is able to tell what should be the difference in the price, because what you find is, oh, there was 3 bedrooms sold on my street, so that means every 3-bedroom on my street is actually the same price, which is not how it should be. But because of the lack of data, people are following that methodology. Yes, they try and come up with some stuff, but that's simply because of the lack of technology, which is where we are now coming in. A lot of other companies are also pushing with these kind of models and trying to come up with solutions. But I think we have been ahead of the curve from that perspective. So in order to calculate this valuation, this is actually analyzed 110 similar properties. So specifically exactly the same specification as this property in that area. We've actually looked at 110 houses in that area, which is allowing us to give a valuation confidence, which is high. Shows you the sold price, when was the sale, how much has the sale price change been since then. Also give you a rental valuation for that property, which allows you to actually evaluate it for a buy-to-let, etc. investment. There are other tabs here, which is similar properties, cash flow, flip analysis. Let's just quickly go through them. Similar properties gives you an indication of what are the comparables for sale available locally. So this gives you a graphical representation of how much the properties are selling, gives you the same by prices, terraced house, etc. and also shows you the actual links for these properties. So you can actually click on these links and they will take you to the properties on the market. For instance, if you click on that, this takes you to the Zoopla site where the actual property is listed. So you can actually compare what our report is saying with the live data on other portals. Same thing for rentals. You can actually look at the rental properties, right? And then recent sales. So this is, you see a lot of places where you show the sold prices, which is fine, but no one in the country tells you what were the per square meter pricing for those sales. So we put together various data points to try and give you more powerful information, which allows you to make in-depth analysis and decisions. It's showing you what the prices for each of these was, what was the internal square meter area for all of those properties, which allows you to also, what should I say, it allows you to actually back, if you think the valuation is so and so, and the owner is not budging, you can always show them the in-depth report to say, this is the reason why your property, which is number 74, is actually 50,000 less because your property is much smaller and these are the features which the other property had. So that allows you in the negotiations. We already have some customers who have actually knocked down 20, 30,000 from their sales. And for a 10, 20, 30 pound membership, I think that's a no-brainer what you want to basically be looking at. Also, quickly, the cash flow screen, which we saw on the deal insights, we also have the same available here, where you actually have all the information about the property. So your gross yield would be around 4% in Pinner, which is about right. And you can actually do all the changes. You can look at what the rental is. If you think the rentals are going to be lower or higher, you can actually be conservative or more optimistic. Then you can actually change these, and this will sort of calculate the stuff for you. As soon as you click outside, it will basically calculate the fields for you and the graph. So that gives a pretty good understanding of whether I should even bother viewing this property if it's not ticking my boxes, or should I be putting down an offer, you know, where to put, where to stop, sort of thing. Allows you a lot of powerful inputs. This is again flip analysis. I know we're kind of running out of time, so I'll very, very quickly. This is again a calculator which allows you to actually see if you were to do a quick project on a bridging loan, etc. So the rates of interest are much higher over here, and allows you to see what the numbers would be, what kind of project costs are, what are the closing costs, or what sort of gain you're expecting in the time period, and whether or not you should touch that investment. You can actually make those decisions. So I think that sums up most of the stuff very quickly, actually. So we have subscription options. So each of our customers who come in, by default, you get 6 free tokens for the next few weeks. So you don't actually have to start any package before you try those things. But even if when you run out of those, you're able to actually pick any of these plans. It starts from £10 a month goes up to £100 a month for the premium plan. The only difference between these plans is actually how many tokens you can use. So this one is for somebody who's just doing 1 or 2 searches and is looking for valuations or doing some analysis. They can actually pick this plan. So £10 a month. Gold is when you're actually actively looking, and premium is more for your hardcore investor. You're actually analyzing a lot of properties, and that allows you to do that. And each of these plans actually start with a 14-day free trial. So essentially, even if you actually were to pick a premium plan today and wanted to absolutely evaluate every property in the country or find all these thousands of deals, and decided, okay, that's not good enough for me, or I've actually already found my dream home, then you can still cancel it before the 14th day. So there is no payment taken until the 14-day period has passed. And all your payments are actually pretty secure. You pay on Stripe, which is a PCI compliant, one of the most secure payment providers available. So you never give any payment details to us. It's handled securely by Stripe. And you've got a simple account profile. So this is actually showing what you'd possibly see if somebody was to take a membership. They'll see a free trial that will expire on the 27th. So no payment has been actually taken on this account, and you have these many tokens remaining. So it tells you when your plan will start. You can always cancel or upgrade your pack or change it. So we're also launching yearly packages in the next couple of days. But yeah, I think these are some of the features I'm sharing now, but we have new releases coming in almost every week, or maybe once or twice. and we don't actually make it premium features or stuff. So we try and give it all to everyone. That's why we've actually set up the business, try and be fair to everyone. So I think that's all I wanted to actually share at the moment. So I'll pass it back to Arvind.
Yeah, thanks, Nitin. It was very, very good as some of the feedback started coming on the chat by Manju already. So nobody has typed any question, so I'll open the forum. I think you can unmute people, Nitin. And
I think I have allowed that now. So anyone
wants to raise
facing an issue?
Yeah. So if you want to ask a question, unmute yourself, and Nitin is here to answer those questions for you. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi, good morning, all. It's Anup here. While we were discussing this, I was parallelly trying to log into this property deal insight, and I tried to do a valuation of a property in Harrow Wheelstone, but somehow it is showing that that postcode is not supported. So is it limited to certain postcode, or?
So we have we do validations on postcodes. I think it might most likely just be a case of a format issue. So you might have not put the space and stuff. So that is basically, I'm happy for you to send over the postcode to me privately, and we can have a look at it. But no, like I said, we have over 27 million properties. So yes, it is limited, but it's limited to about 95, 96% of the UK houses. So it's most likely for Harrow Weald, it's just a case of this space is not in the right place or stuff. That's
okay,
what it
okay,
is.
okay, fair enough. Thanks.
Yeah. Cheers.
Okay, next. Any questions for Nitin?
So I think one of the key things people need to understand is, and while we're waiting for anyone else to actually ask the question, is that it's more trying to give all the information for people so they can actually make the decision themselves. So we are not trying to sell these deals. By the way, just a disclaimer, all the deals which you see are not all from our own platform. So we aggregate it from a number of different sources so people don't have to be running around. And we try and do our own independent analysis on those properties. So before you make any investment decisions, just make sure you do your own analysis. But this is more to try and cut down your investment life cycle from 3 to 6 months to sort of say a week or so. People, I know Arvind's actually been analyzing and using a lot of properties on our portfolios he's been using to negotiate offers. So I think that is ultimately what I want people to say. So whenever they're going and negotiating with the buyers or sellers, even if you're actually selling a property, by the way, so you know what to actually list it as, because agents, I don't want to name some, but there are agents who would actually literally say, we'll get you a 5 lakh for a 4 lakh kind of a property. And all you do is end up sitting on the market for 6 to 8 months, getting frustrated, and then selling it for even lower than what you should have got.
Okay, there is a question from Ash Balakrishnan. If I have a private sale of a property with planning application approved, how can I get it on your platform?
Thanks, Ash. So actually, that was something which I forgot to cover. It was meant to be covering. So there are some sourcing agents who are actually listing properties with us directly. So we don't currently offer like direct registration. So you would have to get in touch with us, send over the details to us. You can use either the contact us form or basically our contact details are on the website. So we can actually list the property or get it on. So we'll do just a few sanity checks and making sure everything is kind of in place. Then we get the property listed on the platform. And there are already some properties. There are a few licensed HMOs, etc., which are available on the platform, and you can find them under the licensed HMO section. So absolutely, you get in touch with myself, and we can get your property listed onto the platform.
Okay, fantastic. Anybody else? Any more question? So one thing which I noticed, Nitin, and I'll question it. So stamp duty, the field, you have taken the standard rate stamp duty by default, like 0 for the property below 500 recently. So I assume, obviously, because I know that you can edit and type the correct stamp duty yourself. So is that something you expect people to basically correct the stamp duty themselves to understand the real cost?
That's a very good question, actually. You've got eagle-eyed. But we were actually trying to squeeze in a release. So there was a massive release which was going in yesterday, which meant to go a couple of days ago, but we just decided to hold back because I didn't want it to cause any unexpected situations in this demo. So we already have a high rate stamp duty and low rate standard rate stamp duty calculator, which is actually available. So we will be pushing that release in the next day or two, or most likely tomorrow now, where you would be able to switch between, like there was an option to do interest only or repayments. So there is an option to actually change from higher rate to lower rate. But again, stamp duty, you have so many variations of it. If it's something other than that, then yes, we do expect people to put in any other values, but the other two fields for higher rate and standard rate, that would be available. And we do keep changing our stamp duty calculator to actually support all the changes happening in the outside world. But yeah, they keep changing it very, very often. So it's hard to stay on top of everything. But in general, within a few hours or a day or so, we get all the changes implemented into the platform very, very quickly.
Okay, thanks, Nitin. So any more questions? Only a few minutes left. I know it's a Sunday morning. Everybody wants to sort of, probably, you got 100% of the demo there and you really like the platform. I think towards the end of this, we're going to share this video, Nitin, right? And also we're going to share a link by which you can, sort of join. Say, okay, that's a question now from Chintan. I have 6 tokens. What does it mean? Can I check 6 properties?
Yes, so that's a very nice question, actually. It's good. I like when people ask questions specific to the platform, so that means they're using it. So 6 tokens are, so like I said, we don't limit features on our platform, even though we have different packages. A lot of people like to limit them, saying you only get to see deals or really good deals when you're on a premium platform, because I know some competitors, they actually do that where they don't want to show you the good ones. So we don't do that. We like it to be fair. So the tokens are your usage tokens. So each searches, these are like your credits. So each of these tokens allow you to do searches. So you can do 3 property valuations in the free 6 complimentary tokens which you get, or you can actually find deals 3 times. So essentially each search costs you 2 tokens. But like we saw the deal finder results, one search actually costs you 2 tokens. Within that, you have almost 200 properties. So you're actually analyzing quite a bit before these tokens run out. Also, that even if they run out, you actually can start your free trial for 14 days, which will start another free trial in a way, which basically can last for 14 days, and you can use up to 1,000 tokens if you went for premium, and you can switch between them. So currently we are actually being very, very forgiving on that part, where we are actually offering a lot of free tokens to people to try that out. Because I think we believe in, if you like it, you'll stick around. If you don't like it, that's absolutely fine. And if you don't like it, we really want to hear from you. What would you like in the platform that would make it even better? As I said, we are always improving and finding new ways to change it.
One more question has come through, Nitin, from Anant Agrawal. So how recent sale data property validation feature considers? Example, i.e., with recent surge in the sales, the valuation are changing fast?
Yeah, again, good question. So the recent sales where we are actually showing, and I'm assuming that's what you're asking. So the recent sales are actually the properties which have been sold. So this is information coming from trusted sources like your land registry and all, which is again something I forgot to actually mention. All our data is coming from reliable sources. We have direct integrations with government sources, private sources, and our own algorithms, proprietary information. So we're not magically coming up with these numbers. This is all backed by information from the reliable sources, and we don't do any scraping and all that stealing stuff, which is not what we are based upon. So your other question around the surges in pricing, yes, the prices are changing fast. We use the house price indexes as well. So all our valuation are taking into account a number of things, and I didn't want to complicate the demo by providing all of the insights. Happy to kind of discuss that with you in person as well. But we are looking into the house price indexes as well while the valuations are coming out. So that's something which you'll see and gives you a good indication of what the market is. Obviously, we can't tell you what's going to be tomorrow or day after sort of thing, but it would give you a very good idea of what the valuations are. And if you'd actually go through this with your surveyors and valuers, they will do the same. And in fact, most of the surveyors who are kind of coming on to our platform, or actually we are partnering with some, they are saying they didn't even have any of these methodologies to actually try and do that, because all they did was look at what a buyer has actually bid for, what is it the property on the market for, look for 2 houses and just say that's it. And depending on whether the lenders are going for a lenient or a sort of a tight budgets, etc., they evaluate based on that.
Okay, I think probably this is the last question because we are just running out of time. So from Ash Balakrishnan, I can see platform being handy in a live auction. Do you have mobile app? It would be easier to work out figures this way rather than take our laptop.
Absolutely. So most of our customers are currently coming via mobile. So we don't have a separate mobile app, but our application is fully mobile responsive. So you should be able to do everything which you can do on the platform on a mobile device as well. And it is something we are kind of asked for a lot by people. We are actually planning to do a mobile app launch. However, all our features, like I said, are already available on mobiles, and we are very responsive on most of the mobiles anyways.
Okay, fantastic. So I think we are just run out of time. Thank you, Nitin. It was a very wonderful demonstration. No hitch, nothing. So the platform worked well as well. And I think everybody would have sort of got it. We're going to also share the video after this meeting and also share a link by which if you haven't subscribed already, you can subscribe to the and get those use of the free tokens. And if you want to continue, you can do so. Thanks a lot for your time, everyone, on a Sunday morning and having looked at this demo. We'll speak to you soon in next webinar. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Nitin.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Arvind. Cheers.